Now, what we're going to do at this point is have you guys take a test.
Pass out the test, please. Pass out the test, please.
Oh, one apiece. I get them back. Oh, I left me. Oh, give me one. Hey, give me one. Give me one. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. While they're passing out the test, I do want to mention, you want to move out of my way, sir? There you go. I do want to mention that the Oracle of Delphi, even though it's tremendously successful with their, even though it's tremendously successful, the government destroyed them. Wonder why the government destroyed a successful Oracle? Because it didn't prophesize in their favor. It prophesized reality. Now, we all have your reality, and then we have your reality, and then we have your reality, and then we have all of your realities, and then we have my reality. And I'm the only one that's right.
It's Dr. Marvin.
Does that make sense? Same as people are going, yes, mismatchers are going, no. And then, there's the actual real reality that Korbitsky talks about in Science and Sanity, 1937. Tried to read that book about 5 times. I get about 20 pages every time. Pretty heavy book, okay? But you see, reality is what we perceive through those eyes, and of all those 45,000 bits of information that's hitting our sensory apparatus every second, we're picking up 7 plus or minus 2. Isn't that good? So we really are aware, aren't we? Yeah. If we didn't have an unconscious mind taking over our automatic functions, we would all die in a grease spot on the ground within 10 seconds. Neurological burnout. Okay? Isn't that great? So anyway, the government took them out because they knew too much. Wow. Okay. Fear. Remember, fear motivates most people. Most people in power push you or shove you or something along that way because they think that that's the way to motivate people. Now, there's about 17 levels of growth in progress, and government is about the 4th one up. Do I like the government? Yes, I do. I'm not faking this. Okay. Now, what's the name of the seminar again? Secrets of Speed Reading the Opposition. Okay. I have some awareness presuppositions here, and they're not exactly the same as on the first page there, but they might be close. I wrote these out of my head. Okay. 1. The meaning of your communication is the response that you get. What did I just say? The meaning of your communication is the response that you get. Okay? So if you're trying to communicate something to somebody else and they get a different response, you just screwed up the communication somehow, right? Yes. But if you know their internal filters, their meta-programs, then maybe you have a better chance of communicating what you really mean to their filter so it slides right through that grease slot into their brain for real. Okay? So the meaning of your communication is the response that you get, regardless of what you meant. But honey, I meant. How many guys ever done that a couple thousand times? And you have what the fuck's wrong with this bitch? I mean, you can't say that, but the other way, I'm sure that women never have thoughts like that. Okay. And then we've gone over this because this is the same one. People respond to their map of reality, not to reality itself or your reality. Okay? What does a map of reality say? Well, we have a map for Medford, Oregon, right? Let's say you pick up a map that's 50 years old. You go the wrong way down a runway street, you're going to know that that's not reality. Okay, that's a simple one. Choice is better, number 3, choice is better than no choice. See, I believe, on my path right here, that you have control. By learning these, working to the mind, you have choice. by learning how information is stored, you get to choose the path that you want based upon your previous conditionings. Some people actually believe that they were put down here to have bird shit on them. It's not my fault. God did it. He had that bird fly over and shit on me because I must have done something wrong. Okay? Some people really believe that shit. Okay? So, choice is better than no choice. And what I do with every project, like I did a project for Warrior Publications here. I did it 3 nights ago. And I'm almost afraid to look at it. I have so many opportunities for multi-million-dollar coming in, but I got to do them. Okay, that's the take action part. Okay, but once you start taking action, then it's over. It's all done. Does that make sense? And then you go take another action. On the other side back there, I wanted to get so many students into the school in a certain period of time. So what happens is I can just write one ad and just do it that way, right? But why not just write the one ad and use it 5 different lanes? Wow. What's your chances of getting that amount of students already, huh? Yeah, we've already doubled the amount of students that I had as my goal. And it's getting better every day. And I got another one coming out in 2 weeks with a different media for a different target. Are we going to push this one the same way? No. We're going to push it the same way conceptually, but to different type of target markets. Okay, so the concepts are the same. Okay, number 4. If one person can do something, it is possible to model it and teach it to anyone else. If one person can do something, it is possible to model it and teach it to anyone else. Okay? That's how speed hitting came up. Okay? When they modeled me back there in the 80s for the speed hitting, I was doing some stuff that's slow, I was doing some stuff that's fast. I didn't really know the difference. They pointed out the difference, and I went, oh! And all of a sudden, I was up to over 11, 12 hits in a second without any extra training. I just took out the slow stuff, and all the rest of the fast stuff just started adding up. Does that make sense? That's without knowing about this stuff. That's just doing the external stuff that we've been doing so far. But the thing is to make it real in a tournament, to make it real in a fight, you need the internal stuff. Okay? It'll still look the same, but it won't be as effective without the internal stuff, unless you have some accidental internal stuff. So that's another reason that we're going to go over all these meta programs real dirt quick. Okay. Control. Number 5. The person in a conversation, a negotiation, or an educational situation, or a religious situation, or a social situation with the most flexibility will be the controlling element. Okay? Do you understand that? It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. Okay? If one person has an away from, well, remember this guy? Hey, you asshole. Okay, but I was over here and I go, hey, you owe us that money. I said, pay us. It's been a year and a half. Come on, you can pay it. Well, I got so many bills. Aren't we a fucking bill? Okay, and as soon as I had the flexibility to switch into something that reacted this way against this meta program, we got paid. That makes sense? So I had the flexibility to change my behavior in something that would affect him because I finally became aware of his behavior, even though that type of compulsion, pushy behavior I don't like to do. Okay? Yes, I do. No, I wouldn't do that. There is no such thing as failure, only feedback. I have a friend of mine, love the guy dearly, went into business 3 times for himself, failed every time. Because when he's associated into his own personal business, he starts making pictures of all the bad things that can happen. Okay, everybody. Don't think of a pink elephant. 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 Don't smell its urine. Don't smell it. Wow. Why are all you guys smelling this urine anyhow? Well, if you start putting all those pictures, there's this one woman that had every time that her daughter left to go to work, she would freak out because she starts making pictures of her daughter getting killed in an automobile wreck. Right? Huh? Yeah, I know somebody really close to me that she can think of everything that can go wrong with any situation. Okay? Man, ulcers. I can't believe how that would affect your guts or something. Ugh. Ugh. I mean, living inside their head, I'm going, geez, oh God, we're going to fight. Okay. What's that got to do with there's no such thing as failure, only feedback? What are those pictures for, anyhow? Make you feel like shit?
To correct them.
To learn.
To give you goals, to give you feedback, to give you some sort of guidance in where you want to go. So it's just like this stuff here that we're doing today. If you don't know where you're going to go with this stuff, why are you here? So how can you use this? Okay? Without giving exact amounts over here, Fred, how good has this training helped you in the last month with your teaching?
Oh, tremendously.
Well, speak up. They can't hear you over
Oh,
there.
tremendously. It's helped every one of my students improve their learning, and it's helped me quadruple the number of students that I teach.
Right. Now, it's really funny because we were talking a couple of days ago, and he was just conversationally going over something, and I go, you haven't used that? And he goes, what do you mean? I said, well, obviously the director of your department has an away from behavior. Why don't you make even twice as much money? You can. All you got to do is pile on the shit. Uh-huh. Yeah. Because she would say what? What would she say? What would she say about her student?
Oh, yes, she has one student that makes her feel terribly uncomfortable every time.
Good. So she has one student that makes her feel terribly uncomfortable. And all he has to do is go, you don't have to feel bad. I know that she makes you feel terribly uncomfortable. And I know that that's really bad for you. And I know that, if you keep teaching her and it gets worse, you might even get sick. And the thing is, you don't have to feel bad. 1 scoop of shit, 2 scoops of shit, 3 scoops of shit, 4 scoops of shit, 5 scoops of shit. She can now smell the shit really plain. And she has an away from behavior, doesn't she? Because it was given away in her language pattern. And so all he has to do is go, and what I can do is and she will hug him and kiss him and probably anything else because he removed those 5 piles of shit out of her life. Does that make sense? Why do you buy a car? Because I don't want one that's going to blow up when I go down the freeway. Oh, I got good one over here. It won't blow up. Remember the last one? That one over there, that'll blow up. Don't buy cars for that lot over there because they'll blow up. But this one won't blow up. Right? Now, this is the funny part. We are now going over the positive consciousness age since about 1937 with Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Then The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. And then we had Maxwell Maltz. What was his book? Psycho-Cybernetics. Really, all of these are good books. They're fantastic books. I say get them, learn them, memorize them, add this stuff to it. Then you got really pure gold instead of gold plate. Okay? But the point is, you have to learn how to use the meta programs their way. If you take, I don't want to be feeling bad because I don't want my car to blow up. Then you say, good. This car over here won't blow up. This car here will get you where you want to go, and we're going to take care of you. You have to use their words to lead into the next part. You don't reframe their words. You don't say, oh, our cars are really good. They run all the time. No. You have to say, you're right. I don't want a car that blows up either. And this car over here, this car won't blow up. This is probably one of the most stable cars. See, now you transfer, but you got to use those words. Those words slide in through their left ear, hits their brain, and lodge it somewhere back here in the internal reps in a way that makes them feel good. If you change them, if you paraphrase them, you just lost them. When I'm talking to the phone, I'll go, yeah, it makes me feel like shit too. And I'll give them exactly their tonal quality. I'll hit their exact words. I'll hit their everything, and then I'll sell them up. Because I just slipped into their brain through their left ear or their right ear. I wouldn't want to do that. But we do give them a money-back guarantee. So that makes us honorable, doesn't it? Yes. Okay. Turn 2. Now, you can actually mark on these if you want to. Just take out the ink pen that you all have with you. Okay? And if you don't have one when you're doing the test, we will turn off the camera and let you go find one for 50 cents a piece. No. Who wants to make a quick dollar here? No, you just made 50 cents. Okay. When I have leisure time, I prefer to watch TV, a video, or go to the movies, listen to music, radio, or read books. Do something athletic, physical, or using my hands. I got one friend, he goes, you know, me and my wife, you know. I go, kinesthetic. Okay, bad joke, sorry. Number 2, what I notice about most people is how they look or dress, how they sound when they talk, how they move. 3, I learn most easily when I, A, see someone demonstrate what to do, B, get verbal instruction, C, get hands-on experience. Now, to me, I'm going, how in the hell would be that stupid to get that one, you know? Anyway, 4, when finding my way around a new city, I tend to, A, use a map, B, ask for directions, C, trust my feelings. So basically, you have 9 questions right here, okay? So what I want you to do is just go through them, read these questions, see how you see, hear, feel the questions, and make what fits you best. Because if you're sitting here at parade dress and you're hiding everything from yourself, guess what? You're not going to be able to do the kala, the cleansing from the conscious to the unconscious mind, and you won't get a higher connection, so the stuff won't work for you later on. So go ahead, and if you've got a turd inside there, you know, at least look at it and see where it came from. Okay? Find out where you're coming from. So go ahead and do the, by the way, visual, auditory, kinesthetic. You know, some people, stand up, John, come here. Okay, John. Hey, look at this guy. Tall, skinny, breathes right about here. Okay, talk to me. Go ahead.
Talk to you.
Yeah,
about
tell me about a car that you showed somebody today.
I sold one car today. I showed it to one person. She went real well. She was a real nice lady. She came in, wanted to buy a car. That was easy enough.
Good. Notice how slow he's talking? Okay, notice that? You betcha. That's great. Thank you, sir. Does that make sense? He's what? He's visual. Right? Good. Come up here, sir.
Yes.
You betcha. Tell me about a car you painted today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. More of a jamming work parts came in, spray parts.
Go ahead. Well, tell me. No, it's okay. You can
Well,
speak.
It was getting slow. We didn't have much cars to paint, so I took the jam work and basically spent about, I'd say, an hour and a half just scuffing parts and painting stuff that really didn't matter.
Now, you notice he leads in with his visual and then does kinesthetic. But since he has a job that's visual and kinesthetic, you'll notice from his speech patterns, I took the jam work, and he's actually making gestures, little tiny micro motions with his body, okay? But he's hooking in visually first to do the kinesthetic because his job has taught him how to do that. When you think about martial arts,
Yes.
okay, tell me about a technique you really like.
Yes, I like the speed hitting.
Now, what happened there? Notice what happened. He almost went into visual then. See it? Because the tempo, what he's seeing, has changed pace. Okay, think about a throw. No, it's a state change. Think about the choke out on this one right here.
Yes.
Good. Now tell me about the choke out.
Okay, there's a carotid artery. It's going to get a ridge hand. And that's where you choke them out. You squeeze them in real tight. Get them in there. And then one arm, the right arm, is going to choke them out while you're squeezing on the left side of them.
Right. So good hookups here. Do you see that? Not one or the other. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Come here. Garrett. Hi, Garrett.
Hello, sir.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. Tell me about a work situation you really like.
Well, I've got to throw a couple people out of the nightclub. Once or twice.
You see him talking right now? And it led his, well, I got to throw a couple people out of the nightclub where I work, you know. Now, is that visual? Is that auditory? far as that, well, John Wayne got to throw a couple people out of the nightclub where I work. Pretty good kinesthetic, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good, good, good. Come up here, sir. Okay, right over here, so you're sort of looking at these people here.
Okay.
And tell me about a work situation you really liked.
Oh, and one of my students really gets a hold of the technique, and like on a lot of throws, they get that and put you down on the mat really efficiently with a lot of power.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. And another situation. Tell me about working at the computer.
Oh, wow! It's a lot of fun when you get
See the state
into
change?
a lot.
See the total state change? He went auditory kinesthetic was his first one. Now he just went visual. Okay? Which would be digital in this mode. Does that make sense? That means he's looking at a screen, he's seeing pictures. You'll also notice that from processing here like this, he went up here and started processing right here. Okay? I mean, I'm assuming that all of you know that from a line straight across right here, that's an auditory line. When it's on this side of his left ear, that's auditory memory. When it's on the right side, that's auditory construct. He's making up things, okay? When he's up here, that's past visual memory. When he's right here defocused, that's present visual memory. When he's right here, he's doing visual construct. He's making pictures like an engineer would, or he's trying to think of something they hadn't thought of before. When he's down here, he's doing internal dialogue with a kinesthetic attached to it. When he's right here, it's usually something stinks. And that is one. Okay. Then he's over here, that's usually a kinesthetic. Okay, and it could be negative or positive. And so the eyes will actually give clues to what the guy is thinking. Okay? Now, I've only met one really awesomely, I can't call her stupid, but I couldn't understand her. She was so auditory, I couldn't even hook up and talk to her because I couldn't process and switch my modalities to fit hers. Does that make sense? Because I'm not auditory. I yell, but that's the most auditory I get. Okay. Any questions about any of this? Yes, sir.
Could you go over that? Left is auditory memory, right is constructive, and so forth again?
Sure, it's pretty easy. Okay. Come on up here, sir. Have a seat. Good way, man. Okay. Yeah, just trying a little bit there. Okay. Now, just go ahead and think of something that a movie that you've seen. Okay, good. Now, you notice his eyes went up to his left. Now, think about Jingle Bells. Now, he changed it on purpose. That was different because you notice he had a skin coloration change first, and then his eyes went down and he went inside. Oh, good. He just did it. He just repeated what I said. He didn't do Jingle Bells. I know. He just repeated what I said. Okay? Because he got a little confused because he's trying to do kinesthetic instead. Okay? Thank you. Now, what I was checking out, he has normal type of setup for his eye accessing cues. Okay, now some people, like Walt back there, is a reversing. Okay? Instead of doing his visual memory up here, it will be up here. Okay? Which is if you're going to do goal orientation with, say, Silva Mind Control, and they tell you to stack them over to your left, you better stack his to his right. Okay, because otherwise he won't get his process, and it won't go from his conscious to his unconscious to his higher self that way, because he didn't do the right road. You got to take the right road to the right city. Okay, and some people have different roads. Okay, any other questions before we do the test? We've covered about 1/100th of what I want to cover tonight. Okay, good. What we're going to do is go ahead and do the test, and then I'll go over to the next test. Go ahead.
Sure.
What's your question, Fred?
She answered it.
Excuse me. What was your question, Fred?
My question was, what if you're so close you can't decide which of the...
What if it's so close you can't decide? Circle all that apply. On every question, well, I like how they dressed, and I really like how they talk, and I really like how they move. Okay, circle all that. Yeah, because obviously you have a sexual fetish. I mean, okay, okay. So I went to woman there. It says people. Okay, turn it off. Okay. let's raise hand. How many guys had, on the bar graph on the seeing, how many guys had a predominant seeing? Okay, raise your hands. Good, good. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 predominant seeings. Good, good. Okay, how many guys had predominant hearing? Okay, we had 3 that had predominant hearing. Okay, now how many have predominant sensing? Okay, 2, 4, 5. So we had 5. So visuals mostly, and then again we had kinesthetic second, sensing, and then third we had auditory. Did you see the numbers? Bam, bam, bam. Twice as much visuals as there were kinesthetics, and almost half as much auditories as there were kinesthetics. That makes sense? Okay, now usually in the real world it might be a little bit different, but for a karate class, it's usually visuals, it's usually kinesthetics, and there's very few auditories. Auditories aren't turned on by working out usually. So I would say that the auditories that are down here probably have some sort of internal dialogue lead system to their kinesthetics or their visual. Does that make sense? So it still fits in. Okay. Now, is it good to know that you're talking to a visual? Okay. You know, I walked downtown a couple of nights ago, and, you know, I stumbled on the curb, and I saw a wallet there, and I picked up the wallet. You know, it had some dirt on it and stuff like this here, but I found that there was about $200 in there. And then I took out the license, and I found out who it belonged to, so I actually got my car and drove over there, and I gave it to him. What would that person be? What would that person be? I was walking down the road. I stumbled on the curb. I saw a wallet there, and I picked it up. I opened it. I took out the money, and I counted it. I took out the card. So what's the lead system all the way through? You know, I was listening to my tapes, and as I was listening to my tapes and I was taking notes, I was also, you know, sort of watching TV, because, you know, if I'm not in the living room watching TV, my wife, because I'm not part of the family, so I'm sitting there pretending to watch TV, but I'm really listening to those tapes, and I'm taking notes, and I'm thinking. And I'm thinking all the way through, and I'm going, yeah, that's good, that's good. Oh, wow, that's really good. And I really got some good notes. What's that guy? Okay, I got everyone so far. Okay, you said auditory digital. You said what?
Auditory kinesthetic.
Auditory kinesthetic. You said what? Visual. Auditory kinesthetic. Okay. Now, when I was taking my NLP training back in Colorado, I had no auditory skills at all. When I took music appreciation, a required course for teachers in high school, in college, I was the lowest scorer in class on auditory. So one of my assignments when I was doing NLP was to listen to tapes. And since I just can't listen to dumb tapes, like I can't read dumb books, I started listening to educational tapes. And after a while, it'd be in one ear and out the other. So I don't listen to educational tapes the first time driving. I listen to them sitting watching TV, which I'm really not doing, and I take notes. So I'm what? Digital. And I'm trained in the lead-in system to go auditory digital. But that was a high digital. I scored genius level digital. I scored genius level kinesthetic. I score very high visual. And I score very low auditory. Okay? So if you're going to talk to me, you better make sense. Does that make sense? Do you hear? I always say, does that make sense? Anyone says, does that make sense? They're digital. Or not. Okay. Let's go on to the next one here. This is a real quick one here. Life preferences. Go ahead and fill that one out. Life preferences are the magazine or books I like that are mainly about blah, blah, blah. When I go out to have a good time, I like to blah, blah, blah. When I'm traveling, I like to blah, blah, blah. The important thing about where I live is blah, blah, blah. It's part 2. It says life preferences. Page 6. Okay? You got 2 minutes. Go ahead and keep on doing it, and I'll talk to those who are already finished. And we'll be done here in a second. When I took these tests, now here I am with a doctorate in psychology, right? And I've been doing NLP since 81, okay? It's now 1998. I really thought I had hardwired into me what I am. But you see, we change over time, don't we? So it's really nice to go back and redo them again. And I found out that what I really thought I was maybe 60% correct on. Because I know more now. I know what I'm getting more into my own filters. I know I'm cleaning up a lot of my stuff. And I found out things about me that I wouldn't have believed true. And so I actually took the test over again to see if maybe I scored it wrong. I couldn't blame anybody else because I did the test and I judged the test. And then it was neat. I finally realized that one of these things that you're talking about here in this test, which I thought I was really high on, I didn't even get 1 point on. And I go, oh. And I started going, well, maybe I need to work on that one, okay? Benjamin Franklin had his basic 12 things he worked on, didn't he? Because he was arrogant and he was pushing people around. People wanted to kill him. So he got these little rules he started doing for a month at a time. He'd do this one rule. And after a period, and he'd do it for a month, and he'd do the next one for a month, and the next one for a month. And after about 3 or 4 or 5 years, people started liking him. But he had to change and repeat and change and repeat. Doing a constant change like he did takes 21 days minimum to do any type of change at all. That's the reason hypnosis, which is very, very good, is much better than affirmations. You can do affirmations for 6 or 7 years and still not change. Okay? So affirmations are the worst. Hypnosis is next best. Mind control is next best. And NLP is real quick change. And the HUNA is the fastest I've ever seen yet. Okay? But any way you change is good as long as you change for the better, right? And just like I was telling you earlier, is that when we're using these skills, I don't care if you go out and make $15 million in 6 months, as long as you leave everybody else off better than you found them. Does that make sense? That's the only thing. Leave them better than you found them. If you can leave them better than you found them, you can have a big house on the hill, you can have a big swimming pool, you have a brand new Mercedes, you can have 10 women, I don't care. As long as you leave everybody better than you found them. And then I think that I've done a good job with you guys. Okay? Now, there's always 1 or 2 sleaze bags, and they don't usually come to these classes either unless somebody tells them about how you can manipulate people and get shit for nothing. They're usually thieves in their heart, too. That makes sense? There's a lot of people that are thieves in their hearts, and they'll try to take this stuff and go out and use it to manipulate some kind old woman to give them $60,000 so they can take it and run. And there are people that do this. I know a couple of them personally, okay? And their whole thing is how you can scam somebody. Well, those people never get very far. But some of them do, don't they? There's some really highly intelligent thieves out there. But, think of this. If you don't know this, how do you know them? There's only one way to know them, and that's to know this. And you'll go, oh, he's one of them. Does that make sense? Okay? Yeah. Okay, let's get to that scoring on the back page here. How many people were people? I scored 0. Now we had 4 that scored high on that. Good. How many people were places? Wow. Watch this. And you and me, let's go to Maui and visit and talk to all the people over there and just see how they do things. Look at her. Wow. Let's go to Maui and take a look at the beach and climb the mountain and look at the palm trees. Oh, wow. Look at those places that we can go visit. Look at it. Oh, yeah. Okay. How many guys had activities? 2. What type of activities? Hey, let's go to Maui. They have a fantastic seminar there on martial arts, and they're going to do brain timing training. Now they both got confused, but they both nodded. Did you see it? I gave them word salad. Did you see it? Brain timing training. And you both went, okay. How many had knowledge? Good, good. You guys are the only sane ones here. By the way, You know, we've got probably 180 some students in the school, and we've got 23 people here. And you notice that everyone here scored something on knowledge, so they wouldn't be here. But these guys scored really high on knowledge, didn't they? Or you wouldn't be here. Those who make brown belt score high on knowledge. Okay, or higher. Okay, things. How many people scored high on things? Good. Good.
The other one that admits it.
Good. Well, scoring high, I mean, you know, I'm talking about, you know, somewhere on the scale. Like on people, I scored 0. Well, that's a good. I thought I was people-oriented. I guess not. Okay. Now, let's say that you're married, okay, and you have knowledge, okay, and that's your major motivator, and your wife loves places. You're going to have a fucked up vacation. Because the guy with knowledge has to hit all the bookstores, all the conventions, all the newsstands, okay, all the old bookstores, all the libraries. Oh, the ARE Foundation's down there. I have to hit that. Oh, Milton H. Erickson's Foundation's down there. We got to hit that too. And she wants to go out and smell the daisies and look at the mountain and see the wave on the water and look at the sun go. And I'm going, who gives a fuck? Okay, that causes conflict. So if you understand they're not stupid, that's their meta program, you get along a lot better. You go, oh, that's hers. Does that make sense? And then you learn how to agree and pace and lead if you give a shit about it. Okay? Or give a shit about him. Okay? I personally don't have any of those problems myself. Okay. Part 3. Meta Program 1. When I take time to relax, I like to. When I need to do something unpleasant, I usually. Regarding activities, I can too. When it comes to jobs and relationships. Okay. We'll give you about 2 to 3 minutes to do this one here. Have fun. So everybody's done. Good. What's funny on this one here, because this is the internal filter of extrovert, introvert. Okay? External, internal is what they call it here, but it's actually extrovert, introvert, right? Okay? And everybody knows Zig Ziglar, right? Famous motivational speaker, does a lot of sales, world famous for how he sold pots and pans in the 40s and the 50s and became the head sales agent of everything. Well, he comes across when he gives these fantastic presentations to 15,000 people like a fantastic, fantastic extrovert. That's all rehearsed. It took him 3 years to sell 1 pot and pan. Okay, kept failing. Maybe he'd sell one, and he wouldn't sell one. They'd try to kick him out. He goes, no, I can do it. And he just kept on plugging away because he had another meta program. It was called tenacity, didn't he? You know, he wouldn't give up. He would just keep going for that goal. And all of a sudden, he got in. He finally figured out how to do it. He learned how to change to an extrovert so he could sell. And then within about 6 months, he became the #1 salesman for the whole company. And now he's a speaker that's all over the world. Zig Ziglar. Very religious person, too. I don't know if I agree with his religious beliefs. I do agree with his thinking processes, though. Does that make sense? And he is one of the most introverted people that if you talk to him in a one-to-one, he won't even go for, he runs every day. He goes for his little jog. He won't run with anybody. No, I go out and run myself. That's for me. That's when he recharges his batteries. He recharges his batteries away from people. Okay? Okay, now, how many guys have to go to a party to feel good? Oh. How many guys like to go out and sit somewhere and look at the water or something like that and recharge your batteries? Wow. Now, you know that we teach private lessons in this karate school, don't you? Did you know that extroverts usually don't come to this school? They usually go to Chip Wright School. Okay, or they go Lulu. whatever down at Puddinhead. But they do it with their friends. They don't do it alone, okay? Okay, but anyway, sorry. Some of my value system coming through there. Okay, but anyway, so certain types of people are attracted to certain types of occupations, certain types of trainings. Yeah. Let's go to Maui, okay? Lots of people over there we can interact with. And he goes, yeah. I stepped in that warm turd again. Did you look at him? Oh, I really want to do that. Good. Okay. How many guys scored internal?
Away from.
That's pretty even.
Actually, this is a different program. I'm sorry. That's in the wrong case.
That's okay, we enjoyed it anyway.
Oh, it is. It's really a good drill. Okay, how many guys did self-internal? This means yes. That means you got half of them or more in that self-internal.
You mean
Away
away
from
forward?
What page are we
We're on
on?
that 6.
10.
Oh, I'm on page 11. No wonder you guys are back. Okay. Let's do it. How many guys are away from?
Well, it's kind of like half and half.
Pretty easy to find out. How did you buy your last car?
I didn't. My
Okay.
husband did.
Okay. Have you bought any appliances or anything that break down?
Yeah,
What?
a VCR. I just
Okay.
don't know.
How did you buy your last VCR?
I researched it, and then I went out and looked for the best price.
Sure. And when you researched it, what were you looking for?
The best qualities,
So,
reliability.
so something wouldn't happen, like break down.
Right.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
she was researching so it wouldn't break down, and then she looked for the best price. I would say away from, towards, that way. Look, I have a fantastic new dishwasher. Now, this dishwasher is guaranteed not to break down for 15 years, and the price is the cheapest on the market.
I don't know if it does a good job.
Well, yeah, okay, and it does a good job, and it has the best price in the market. I left out one of her towards there. So you have away from, towards, and then cheap price.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has 3. Okay. You have her strategies, guys. Can you sell her anything now? Okay. Towards. How many people were towards? Okay. Now, as amazing as it seems, towards is not the best one. You guys fall in lots of warm turds. Because you leap before you look many a time. And you go, oh shit, how did I get in this turd? Well, God damn it, I forgot to look again. Okay? Okay, and so a little away from with lots of leading forward positively is a strategy you can do. You can actually add that to your strategy. You can go, I want X, watch out for the pitfalls, now let's go get it. And just put right after X, go, watch out for the pitfalls, let's go get it. Okay? And that would work. Just stick an auditory digital in there. Right. If you're totally towards. What are the pitfalls? What are the benefits? A lot of guys that are totally towards go, God, look at those benefits. They don't see the bear trap. Okay, sorry, the one I tried to do twice to you, and I was on the wrong page. Okay, I am more comfortable when I am by myself with other people. You already know this one. When it comes to making decisions about where to go, what to do, or what to buy, I make my own decisions. Rely on other people. At work, I tend to decide what needs to be done and do it. Rely on others to give me directions. When I'm getting dressed, I, A, decide what would look best, B, wonder what others will think of what I wear. Who gives a shit, right? Right, mm-hmm. Right, well, when joining friends for lunch, I tend to encourage them to eat at one of my favorite restaurants. Go wherever they want to go. Who in the hell wants to go where they want to go? I mean, you know. So go ahead. Figure that one out. Okay? Got 2 minutes. As I was telling people during the break, my wife from the seminars, she usually gets all the goodies back there on the table and everything. And if you'll remember seminars that she's supplied the food for and the drinks, well, she always has coffee decaffeinated, caffeinated. She has hot water for tea. She has orange juice, grape juice. She has Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, Coke, Diet Coke. She has 80 different things, just in case one person wants something that we might not have. Okay? And then we have donuts, at least 10 different assortments. Okay, twisted ones, flat ones, round ones, powdered ones, sugared ones, chocolate swirled ones, pink swirled ones, all these, which I do enjoy because I go, I want that. I love it, okay. And then she'll always have some fruit mix or something. Then she'll have oranges and bananas and apples and what else? What else? Pretzels, yeah, potato chips, and she spends $200 on stuff. And so she was teaching today when I came down to set it up. I like Pepsi. What are you guys drinking now? You're drinking Pepsi. Why? Because I like Pepsi. Okay, but I stretched. I don't drink real Pepsi. I drink Diet, but I actually got you real Pepsi in case you wanted. And I thought I was really being nice. Okay? And I looked for some food, and I couldn't find anything I liked, so I didn't buy any. Okay? Does that tell you about strategies that my wife has? And my wife is other people orientated. I'm fuck 'em. I got my rules. But I'm trying to be people oriented. I really do. I really go, and it ain't working. Does that make sense? Okay, good. And so start becoming aware of what these people are doing, because all of these are unconscious processes. They all think that someone that's not like them is fucked up. Okay, that's what people think. What's wrong with you guys anyhow? Okay, who scored self-external? How many people? Wow. Self-internal. Sorry. Self-internal. Okay, self-internal. Good. How many people did other external? Well, does that have anything to do with some of the other meta programs we've already gone over? Now, Northwest Airlines, Pacific Northwest Airlines, I think it was called. But what they did, they were having a fantastic, horrendous complaint ratio. So what they did is they got a bunch of stewardess applicants, and they said, give a 3-minute speech about yourself. And so, your turn, give a 3-minute speech about yourself. Go ahead. Quick, 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 quick. You're going to be next, and you're going to be next, and you're going to be next. You're going to give a 3-minute speech about yourself. Go ahead.
It's, I work in a charcoal
You're next.
factory.
You're next.
Stack
You're next.
charcoal briquettes.
Okay, now, what they did is people thought that they were being scored on how they gave the 3-minute presentation. They weren't. The camera was there watching them. If the person who was waiting to give the speech was sitting there making notes on his own presentation, they didn't get hired because they were self-internal. They were not external other people. And so by hiring the ones that actually listened, they found out that their complaint rates went to 0. Thank you. You ever have a school teacher that's that way, the other way, the one that does internal motivation, you know? What's that Henry Ford thing? Get any color you want as long as it's black. Do you know why he actually had his cars painted black? Anybody know? Dried faster. Yeah, it used to be a different color, but it took about twice as long to dry. So he got it black because black was the fastest drying. Okay. What does that tell you about his meta programs? He wasn't quick and dirty. Sure, I want to be married to him if I'm a woman.
Assembly line approach.
What?
Assembly line approach. Get them in, follow the numbers, get it out.
I'm going to dive into that one. Okay, are we on page 12? Okay, do 12. Now, I would rather work in a job where every day is new and challenging, consistent, and I know what to expect. Or, when it comes to decision making, I'd rather evaluate all the alternatives, make a decision, and get on with it. Or, given a choice, I'd rather create a new approach, do it the way I know that works. Or, 4, I'd like to be spontaneous or plan my actions. Or 5, I enjoy a changing environment. I enjoy the status quo. I like to have a change of pace. I like to follow a consistent routine or procedure. I am attracted to what is possible. I am attracted to what is doable. I tend to do multiple things at the same time, do things one at a time. I tend to be adaptable. I tend to be methodical. Now, the last one there is really funny. Is a lot of people think that methodical is bad, so they change adaptable, but they're really methodical because they don't like the word. But anyway, you got 1 minute for this one because this is a quickie. Okay, whoops, wrong sheet. Sorry about that.
Status quo.
Okay, how many guys was options? 2, 3. Well, no, we're talking about dominant options.
No.
Dominant options. How many dominant options? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, how many guys dominant procedures? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now, tell you what, guys, if you're an airplane pilot, you had better be procedures. You're going to kill a lot of people. And I'm bored of doing this. I'm going to do it different this time. You're leaning on my glass mirror.
Sorry.
Thank you. When it cracks and cuts your throat, you'll owe me money. Okay. Now, was that an away from? Twice? Isn't that great? I love this stuff. Oh. Okay. How many guys were sort of about half-half? Good, good. It's actually best to be about half-half on this. That means you check the floor before you step on the warm turd. Okay. What I'm going to do now is, if we have time, I'll go back and finish this test, okay? But what I'll do is, on this test, is you've already got your copies, but for the video, is I will have a copy of these tests here, all I think 18 pages of. I'll have it with the actual video course, so you can go ahead and score it, okay, before you actually do the other part of the drill that I'm going to go through now. Okay, now, you notice that usually they have a whole bunch of questions before they figure out your personality profile, and then you count numbers, okay? Well, this type of thing was actually started by Carl Jung, okay? And he basically had 4 types of personality profiles, and then the Myers-Briggs was adapted off of Carl Jung's studies. And that had 16 different types of profiles based upon that: judger, perceiver, introvert, extrovert, sensor, intuitor, this type of thing, okay? And then they did that, and then NLP came up with theirs, and Graves' Analogy came up with theirs, and a whole bunch of people came up with theirs, okay? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you the NLP version of those other courses, and they all have one question instead of 16 or 20 or 40. So with one question, you can talk to somebody and go, well, what's important to you about a car? And they'll give you their values. They'll give you their values whether it's away from or towards, and you'll know it all from one question. One question. Are you going to have to memorize the fucking question? Yes. Why? Oh, we'll change it and make it different. Some people do that. Sure. We'll just start over here with you, okay? And we're going to break into groups, okay? And we're going to do one question. Come here. Okay. Have a seat right here. Okay, just sort of focus on him. Okay, now, John, when it's time to recharge your batteries, do you like to be alone?
Yes.
Or with someone? Okay. So, now watch him, and notice that pause. Because an extrovert would go, and he already answered it. Okay? So break up into groups of 2, real quick, Do it. I don't know, groups of 3, because we want to have a meta person there to help them with the language patterns if they get it screwed up. What's the question again? When it's time to recharge your batteries, do you like to be alone or with someone else? Go. Okay. What did you learn? What did you learn?
We all knew how to answer it right away.
Huh?
We all knew how to answer it without the whole question being asked.
Because we're all what?
Introverted, I guess.
Right. And so everybody answered it right there. But if you switched it around like this one party did, then the pause, they haven't answered it yet. And so they switched it around. So you notice it's not leading. It's still the same answer to go. So if you go, when it's time to recharge your batteries, do you like to be with somebody else or to be alone? Because when you say it with somebody else, they go. Okay, now what was your question?
Why have the pause between the two?
People have different rates of thinking. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if you keep boom, 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 just like that, then they'll remember the last one and not the one that you paused on.
Ah.
Okay? And if you're with a heavy-duty kinesthetic, I'm a heavy-duty kinesthetic, but I've learned how to adapt. You haven't yet. Okay? You don't ever want to talk any faster than they talk because they don't think any faster than that either. A person's talking speed is their thinking speed. Yes.
I had a woman. That
You
woman I was
fuck
telling
that
you
up.
about.
They will walk away.
That woman I was telling you about, total kinesthetic. I realized later I was talking real fast. She just looked down and said, "I don't like all this double talking." She walked away.
Yeah.
I wasn't double talking.
She was just talking visually.
Yeah. She couldn't keep up with
Right. I told you about the auditory woman. I just no way I could keep up with her. Well, I still use all the auditory words, and I pause, and I slowed down, and tuned into that, man. Yeah, I got a nice ring to that. Oh, yeah. And I signed her up her kid, signed him up in 2 programs. I never did understand a fucking thing she said. I just repeated back to her what she did me, tagged my little sentence on it. I think I go, ooh. What's in her brain? Ding dong. Okay. Internal processes. By the way, these 4 here I'm going over real quick are from the actual Carl Jung studies. It's called external behavior, and we just did introvert, extrovert. Okay. About 75% of the population is introvert. See why I have private lessons? Would that be a business decision? And about 25% is extrovert. Okay. Now the next one is internal process. Annette, in gathering information about something new that you're learning, are you... Man, I can't read my own writing. Hold on a second here. Are you interested in just the facts? Or are you more interested in the relationship between the ideas?
Both.
In gathering information about something new that you are learning,
Okay.
are you interested something new that you are learning?
Okay.
Are you interested in just the facts? Or are you more interested in the relationship between the ideas?
The facts at first.
I know. You already gave this before when we were talking about a half hour ago, and it's probably on tape. So what's the question all you guys have written down? In gathering information about something new, write it down. We're going to be doing a drill with these people. What?
Gotta write on this.
I'd write on the back. That's the reason I left them blank. And this is for internal process. In gathering information about something new that you are learning, are you interested in just the facts? Or are you more interested in the relationships between the ideas? The backs are empty. Okay, and go ahead and break up. And by the way, let's say you're going to buy something new here. Let's see. Who wants to buy a new car? Hasn't bought one yet. Okay, you're going to buy a new car, John.
Okay.
Okay. Are you interested in just the facts, or are you interested in the relationship between the ideas?
Relationship between ideas.
Okay, and tell me about that.
I'm interested in
Louder, Steve.
I'm interested in the whole concept of the car, price, how it looks, how it rides, everything.
Good. Now, Beth, when you buy a car, are you interested in just the facts, or are you more interested in the relationship between the ideas?
Relationship between the ideas.
And so tell me about that.
It's got to feel right. It has to drive right. I have to be able to get to and from work regularly. Good.
And when you're interested in something new that you're learning, we'll talk about learning now. Talk about learning NLP. Okay? When you're gathering information about something now that you are learning, are you more interested in the facts, or are you more interested in the relationships between the ideas? Would you rather have the drills, or would you rather have the overall concept?
Facts.
When learning something new like NLP, are you more interested in the facts and the drills, or are you more interested about what you can do with it?
Do with it. That seems like the same. In my mind, you give me two options that are the same thing.
No, you didn't. He goes, no, you didn't. Got it? This means yes. This means no. Okay, good. Now, here, ask me the same question. Go ahead. And use the word NLP, because I'm really weird on this one. And there's several people that are weird like me. And as soon as I'll do it, he'll recognize it. And those who have been selling before will recognize it. The ones I've asked so far haven't done it. Go ahead.
With NLP, are you interested?
I can't hear you.
In NLP, are you interested in just the facts, or are you more interested in related ideas?
Yeah, learning new NLP. Actually, I want to do the drills. I want to have exactly the sequence. I want to know the first thing to do, the second thing to do, the third thing to do, the fourth thing to do, the fifth thing to do. And then I want to be able to put those together. So when I do this here, so I'll be able to watch them and see the physiological changes, and then I can see them chunking up and learning new things. And that's what I want to do. Now, if you want me to be more specific, I can. Because I just want to know a general overlay. You know, because I want to check their submodalities. Are they away from or towards? I want to know all the meta programs. I'm one of the best chunker downs this universe has ever got. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, most people don't chunk the way I do. And those who do chunk the way I do are probably geniuses in their field, if they got a high IQ to go with it. Most people don't chunk down this way. Most people go, oh yeah, okay. And they hear somebody like me and they go, God. Yeah. And they'll talk about the car and I'll go, yeah, it's got four-wheel drive, but you know, it's got a tear on the left-hand side of the right seat, you know. So, go and ask the question to your groups, and we'll come back in 3 minutes. Okay, come on back. What did you learn? Go ahead. You were going to say something, Brad.
Well, I just was thinking when you were giving your response, that your response was very similar to a man I admire called Aristotle.
Oh,
because
I'm like Aristotle.
Aristotle was an idea man, but when he specified his ideas, they had to be in very concrete, specific forms, and he thought that general ideas existed concretely. And when you started talking about general ideas, you used concrete, specific examples, and to make sure that everyone got it, you asked, can I make myself more specific? Yeah.
Right. Now, when you give a training, okay, does this training have enough details for you? Yeah. Okay, now this guy is also concrete specific. Okay. Does this training have too many details for you? Okay, that's strange, because I'd say probably they did, okay, because if you get the guy that chunks the other way, then they don't want concrete specific, they want ideas that they can play with. Good. And you said something, go ahead. You said, I don't get this?
Well, yeah, this question.
Try this question. If you were a teacher, would you rather teach fact courses or courses involving theory? Now he's chunk sequential on that one. If you put him, you see him? He's going, I understand totally now. He goes, wow. If you were teaching martial arts to someone that you really love and want to keep safe, would you rather teach them the real facts about martial arts, or would you like to just teach them the theory about martial arts? Would you be awful goddamn specific? Okay. Good. Now, a lot of people, when they do this drill, yes, I know you have a question. A lot of people, when they do this drill, they go, I don't get it. Well, the point is did you get that other people think differently? That's what the point of the drill is. And if you know that other people think differently, then they're one of them. And you have language patterns that later on we can let you use to get to them. I wouldn't do that. Okay. Internal state. Is it more important to you that you are thought of as a reasonable, rational person, or that you are a feeling, caring person? Sorry. I have to do that again without laughing. Is it more important to you that you're thought of as a reasonable, rational person, or that you're a feeling, caring person? Dan, is it more important to you that you are thought of as a reasonable, rational person, or that you're a feeling, caring person?
For me, that depends on who I'm talking to. Is it more important? I mean,
put it into a context.
Put it into a context? Sure. If I'm talking to my wife, it's more important that I'm a feeling person.
Okay.
If I'm in the business world, it's more important that I'm rational.
Okay. How so?
Because I have a tendency to be too aggressive and too pushy.
Mm-hmm.
So to calm myself down, be more rational, think things out.
Notice he's given the definition of feeling, caring. He's not giving a definition of rational. Check it out. It's on tape. Gotcha. Why are we doing this? Why do I go over these questions? Because most of us don't know. We think we do. You're also feeling a caring person in business. I know I've done business with you. Okay? You're also trying to be rational because you feel you should be.
Right.
Okay? But you're still feeling caring there, and then you try to add on the other stuff because you have to because it's a business. Right. If you don't, you're broke. Okay? Feeling caring people in business usually go bankrupt. They usually lose deals because they will let the sleaze bag get away. Okay? Ever had a case like that happen?
Let the sleaze bag get away?
Right.
No.
Happens to me all the time, doesn't it? Or not. Okay, good. Break up and ask the question. See the answers you get.